How we doing, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of FSI's NASCAR DFS Pick Show. I'm your host, TK Nation 47, joined with Mega Ruler 31. Um, Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Appreciate all the mothers listening in. If it wasn't for you, there wouldn't be a lot of us out here doing the things we love to do and the sacrifices you make. Hopefully, you have a wonderful day today. Um, Mega, what did we learn yesterday from our Xfinity video? And good job, by the way, taking over for the whole thing. And yeah, what did we learn yesterday?
I think pretty much I was pretty on with the picks, and it's the same thing that happened with the truck race where um, you had Chastain like mess up at the end of it. Reddick kind of messed up at the end of this one. I had a little bit too much Creed and GPPs. Like I really thought this might have been his first win if he didn't have mechanical issues there.
Mhm.
But overall, the process was solid. And like I said, I thought that Al Geyer was really good at restarts and he might be able to jump ahead and steal a victory. And at the end, he did get there. And I was worried about Ty Gibbs and he finished
Mhm.
16th. So, I mean, and I was pretty much spot on with like Grayson, which it made sense. A lot of people in the industry were on him, and they were right. So I think it's kind of the same format here. You look at the guys at top that are going to dominate. You got some. We had more tire issues, and I fear we're going to have more tire issues
Yeah.
here. So I dare I don't want to really say that this might turn into like a plate race where there's a lot of like carnage and like really good cars get taken out because of tires, but this is a high tire wear track, so
Yeah.
who can take care of their tires? Now, the nice thing about Xfinity, or not Xfinity, but Cup over Xfinity and Truck is they have more sets of tires, but
Yeah.
still could be an issue. So we'll see what happens. So I think there's some definite chalk guys on the bottom that people are going to play. So I think just looking at that right away, like Chase Elliott and Kevin Harvick had issues, and they're starting like third to last and second to last. BJ McLeod is starting dead last. And I think
Mhm.
a lot of people are gonna like have high ownership on it. So I think Cash, you just start with Chase Elliott, and then you just got to figure out the other five guys. And then the decision number two is, do you play Kevin Harvick?
Mhm.
I haven't listed as GPP. I think maybe I'll change it to a cash play because I think it does make
Yeah, it's
sense.
probably a cash play.
Um, but like in some of the builds with like some of the other guys I really wanted to get in here, I couldn't get up to him. So again, this might be a day where I split my cash and I have Harvick in one of them, and then I don't have Harvick in another one.
Mhm.
So here's what I'm thinking, and then we can talk about the rest of the guys. I think my first build is going to be Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano, just because Joey Logano is cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't know if I super trust Joey Logano because he was fast here, but like he's had issues this year. I
Mhm.
think there's going to be better guys. He's not like a really great tire wear guy. So I think I'll start one build that way. And then my second build, I'm going to start with Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, who's pretty expensive. And then I think I'm going to um, put like Ricky Stenhouse as my third anchor in that one because I think starting 26, he's the other prime play. So I think those are the first three drivers in most of my builds. And then I think we just need to talk about who the rest of the guys could be.
Yeah. So I have a hot take heading into this race. I like Joey Logano. I'm definitely going to play him. He's going to get the outside on the restart or, the preferred lane. Yeah, but probably the outside on the restart and probably take most of the majority of the early lead lap points. But like you said, carnage, tires, cautions, there's going to be spins. I don't know if we're going to have an overall dominating racer today, and I'm not sure at 11K I want to waste a lot of salary on Kyle Larson. I know we can kind of make salary for what it is, but there's a whole range here in the 5K 6K range that I don't feel as strong on as I usually do. So I might be lower to the field on Kyle Larson. Going to have a decent amount of Joey Logano and other GPP plays, but yeah, I agree. The whole lineup starts with Elliott and Harvick. But let's go. We talked about Logano and Larson a little bit, but did you want to expand on anything else?
No, I think we can look at the other three in the top five. So you have Christopher Bell, who's a GPP, but I think he's a fade to me because he seems to be qualifying really, really well, but he never seems to end up there. Martin
Mhm.
Truex has been really good in this track and has had spots of brilliance this season, but at 10-5, he's definitely a GPP and not a cash play because he's only 500 less than Larson. And I just, even though he's my daughter's favorite driver, don't tell her I'm saying this. I just don't. I can't trust him this year. And then finally, Kyle Busch rounding out the top five. This is a situation you need to pay attention to because you might have looked in the DK trader pool and say, why is Trevor Bayne in there? And why is it like 7K? And like, why does he not have a car associated with him? He is the backup. Again, apparently, Kyle Busch and his wife have a surrogate who's going to give birth to a baby soon.
Yeah.
And he might not even start the race if he gets called away to go be there for the birth. So Bayne would jump in. So at that point, you'd have to play Bayne over Busch. If you do play Kyle Busch and like halfway through the race, he has to jump out of the car and do a Chinese fire drill and Trevor Bayne jumps in, don't worry, Kyle Busch, even though Trevor Bayne drives the rest of it, still gets scored the rest of the points. So, but still a GPP play for me.
Yeah, I really love Kyle Busch in this race too. We're noticing with the practices that he's having a lot of success on these 1.5 mile or short tracks. So I really like him to be a dominator at 9.9. I like that price tag, that savings from Kyle Larson. And Truex at 10.5, although he has over 400 lead laps here in this on this track in the last 5 races, and a win. I just don't see it in the new next gen car. It's been a problem for him this year. Him and his crew chief have struggled to really put together a dominating factor, dominating style race. Martin Truex comes up with, and yeah, Christopher Bell's gonna be a fade for me as well.
Okay,
Kurt Busch.
I just want to look at the next five as a group too here. So let's just do it in fives.
Okay, yeah,
So
Kurt
Kurt,
Busch
Kurt
is a fade.
is a fade,
For
right?
me.
Starting
Yeah.
he has experience, he's decent with tire wear, but just starting that far up, I can't see it. Blaney's been fast this year, but hasn't accomplished anything, and he's not a good tire wear person. But I think the next three really make sense because Chastain is in great form. He had a great truck race until he dropped a gear transmission or something and broke all our hearts and lost me hundreds of dollars on Friday night. Byron seems to do well on tire wear or any type of track. So like he might be one with a little bit of place differential that'd be a pivot off of Larson or Truett. And then Tyler Reddick is the quintessential guy for this track that runs the high groove.
Yeah, all over Tyler Reddick. He's going to be in majority of lineups, high dollar lineups. This is his type. This is his MO. This track was made for him. Starting 10th, you're going to get some place differential today with the top 5. So I'm in on that. I'm not sure about William Byron. I'm still sour from last week with the way that he did us. And then yeah, Ross Chastain. You just have to play him every week now. And Blaney's not really on my radar either. So I'm not, probably going to be maybe out on Blaney. All right, next 5, we got Eric Jones, Almirola, Briscoe, Dylan, Bowman. I have interest in Briscoe and probably Dylan. Your thoughts?
I think the same. Like Eric Jones has been fast all year, but I don't know if he can hang in the top 11 with this type of track. Almirola, I think he's starting a little bit too far forward. He's better at like flat tracks and not a track like this. Briscoe definitely had some success here in Xfinity, is really good at shifting the car.
Yeah.
Dylan, I think is okay. I wish he was a little bit cheaper in 8.5. And then Bowman, like always seems to, he's good at tire wear tracks too. So at 9.6, if you can't get somebody in your lineup, he might be a good alternative to put in with some place, probably potentially 10 points of place differential. He could finish 5th here. I could definitely see that.
Yeah, it's either Chastain or Bowman for me. If you want to just kind of rotate them in and out of your 20 entry max, that makes sense. But I really like Briscoe's price tag, 8,100. In 2 races, he's got an average finish of 15th, and that was when he was struggling. And you had mentioned the Xfinity success, so I like that. Austin Dillon has an average finish of 11th in 6 races too. He does pretty well at Darlington. He seems to be the guy that does well one week, does poorly the next, does well one week. So he's due after a 25th place finish last week. So I like that. McDowell, no thanks. Bubba Wallace, I could understand it. I just
Not good at tire wear though.
Yeah. Busher, really consistent. I don't mind him. And Cindric and Suarez, probably going to lean Suarez. Your thoughts?
Yeah, same. But these Penske cars have been very fast in like practice here and everything. So, and Cindric wasn't bad here in Xfinity also. So I think a lot of this comes that we're going to look at is like because they haven't had a ton of experience here in Cup is like how did they do it in Xfinity? So I think in the 7K range, both of them are cash viable.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Busher?
He's consistent, but I just don't think I would need him here. I think I would drop down a little bit and try to get to like Cole Custer or like Stenhouse if I'm in that range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Briscoe. Busher here at 6,900. I think he's a guy that's going to be a sleeper for a nice top 15 finish.
He's burned me a couple times this year. I think I'm a little jaded on him, so don't mind me.
All right. Next up, we have Ty Dillon, Hamlin, Keselowski, Hemrick, and Burton. Hamlin sticks out here.
Yeah.
But, is he going to finish the race?
I don't know. And he had to lose his crew chief for losing a wheel and like their major sanctions on him. So
major sanctions, and the team's already struggled.
And the thing is like at 10-3, you really need him to progress something or lead some laps. And I don't know, you might be one where but the thing is they're locked into the playoffs. So it doesn't matter if he's like finished at 16th. I think the only danger of him falling out of the playoffs is if 17 drivers win a race this year. And I think if that bridge is crossed, then I think, he really starts fighting hard. But I think they can kind of coast and try to figure out this car. Yep. And it seems like the approach is later rather than sooner. But
I'm going to be underweight to the field on him today.
Yeah, I can see him in cash, but he's definitely not going to be in my primary build. I think maybe I'd throw him more in a GPP one, but I get it if you are trying to do some place differential. Like if you pick a cheaper guy up top and then you're going Hamlin and Elliott and fading Harvick, you can make it work. Or like there was a build yesterday where you could take 3 10K guys, a 9K guy, and like there were 2 like 4 to 5K guys that fit in there, and that lineup was probably my highest scoring one. So
yeah, at some point you're going to have to start to realize that this next gen car data is real. And Hamlin, Truex, although Hamlin had won a race already this year, they're struggling with these new cars, and in our track history, you're going to have to start to throw some of it out and just start realizing that the recent form is outperforming their track history. Ty Dillon was a pass for me.
Yeah.
I could understand Keselowski.
Yeah.
7.9's a little too expensive for a guy that's only going to get 6 spots at most. So,
right.
Yeah. Hemrick, nah. And Burton, definitely not starting 25th.
But here's the thing, like I see a lot of buzz on like Hemrick and Burton, and Burton is like almost a prime play for some people. And I think it's just there is a build with like a popular guy, and that's where you land on Harrison Burton. So I see where he could be highly owned, and I see where people would be put him in the lineup and just hope. But again, like you said, this is a very, very tough track, and he's adjusting to the car and to the Cup Series. So I don't see it. Hemrick, I can see because he is this experienced veteran. He is good with tire wear and Xfinity, but again, this Kaulig car hasn't been what we thought and hoped it would be in Cup Series.
Yeah, Hemrick, veteran for the last couple of series between Xfinity and Cup, but still a lot of rawness when it comes to the Cup car. And
right.
That's just no for me at 24. Stenhouse, I do like at 6,700. Maybe not be the fastest car, but I think he's the better driver down here in this range for this track.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm not going to get in more details. I think he's the best. I think prime play is perfect for that. I like Gilliland more so than Burton. I think he would be my favorite punt today. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind him. He's a solid driver. Was decent here in the Truck Series. He skipped over Xfinity. I mean, they've had their growing pains here, but I think that once he figures out this car, like his just natural talent as a driver, and his team is so solid. with the quality of vehicles that they build in the truck series and here, that I think, he's definitely going to have success. And he does, he hangs around, and he's kind of like becoming a Corey LaJoy, but with more talent.
Yeah. Yep. I think actually you said my next favorite Punt's name right there, LaJoy. All right, Custer and Haley. I think you probably like these two more than I do today. So fire away.
Custer I like just because of the price, and he has been decent, and I think that he can definitely get to be 5x there with what I've seen. He's been in a cup for a couple more years than some of these guys, and hasn't done horrible with this new car. Haley is GPP. I mean, he does well in Xfinity, but doesn't do as well usually in cup here. So
last couple of races, Haley's finished inside that top 20.
Yeah, like I said, that's why he's a GPP and not a fade, but still, he's like a 5'9". I just would wish he was like 5'5" or 5'4". Like, just give me a little bit more of a price break.
Yep, LaJoy, do love this play here.
Yes.
4.9 is a little disrespectful for a guy that continues to finish inside the top 25. He did tap the wall, but that was just a scrape. All they had to do was pull the fender off the tire, and they were all set. As long as even if he does fail tech, he's going to start from the back. That's only like 7 spots. So, he's going to be getting passed by Harvick and Chase anyway. So
right,
he's going to be a decent place differential play at 4,900. I could see him being the most popular punt. Cody Ware and JJ Ailey, no thanks. Lanning Castle, no thanks. And
I could do Ware. I don't know about Yaley, no, and Castle, like maybe.
Hey, I've just been writing these guys off week in, week out. Now it comes to Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick. I think you explained it pretty well at the start about how Chase, yes, play, lock in. Harvick, you have to make a decision. But the 8,800 price tag, that's going to be super jockey today. So if you wanted to fade, I think it's Harvick over Chase. Next up, BJ McLeod. Any BJ McLeod love starting 36?
No, like I said, I'd rather take Cody Ware. Like, I don't know the quality of the equipment. I can see him being like 5, 6, 7 laps down with Castle and Yaley. You'll see all the guys that are out, and then they'd be like the next ones in line. So attrition, it was funny because there was somebody that was just I think it was in trucks, so it was just horrible. And like there's wrecks, and then you slowly saw the guy that was like 12 laps down, like starting to move up over the people that were out of the race. So I think that kind of wraps it up.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for listening in, everyone. Please like this video, comment below with any questions you may have. You can follow me on Twitter at TKNation47. That is at MegaRuler31. All right, everyone. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Make sure you give your wives an appreciation gift. And everyone have a good day. Bye-bye.